Hello, everyone, and welcome to WWH Podcast, episode number 15. Today is just only two people this week. I am Watchtower as always, but with me this week is none other than one half of the current World Tag Team Champions, Johnny V. And I guess you could say this is a special podcast, as it's only the two of us this week. Isn't that right, JV?
Oh yeah, it's not a giant clusterfuck, but we'll still do our best effort to make it a clusterfuck nonetheless.
Exactly. Now, of course, we're going to talk about Showdown, we're going to talk about Demolition, and we finally got the Road to WrestleMania card up. So we'll be talking about that for a little bit, but let's get down to Demolition first. Have you seen this week's episode, JV, and what are your thoughts on that?
I'm digging Demolition period. I mean, top to bottom, top to bottom. I know last week I had said I was supposed to be on the card, tied up with another gymnast. I know it's an addiction. I'm working on it, people. There isn't a Betty Ford, Adrian, for being in love with gymnasts. You know,
What is it?
alcohol,
What is it
heroin.
with you? What is it with you and gymnasts lately? Is this a
They can
new?
do things you would not even remotely believe. I mean, you got to see it to believe it. And no, you can't watch the tapes. And I got a lot of them. But anyways, point being, I felt
wasn't
bad that I
asking.
wasn't there. I will be at Demolition at some point in the future. But my overall point remains the same. When we started this, there was some hesitation from guys in the locker. Oh, what do you mean? Blah, 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 blah. It's proving out to be worthwhile. We've developed really good superstars down there. There's really good talent that is really starting to shine. We've had a few guys go, hey, I know I could go to Showdown, but I kind of want to stay here and I want to go for the hardcore title. It's meaning something. And that was the point of setting up Demolition. And now it's really coming to full fruition.
Exactly. So let's get down right to it, to the results. The first match was a Bombshells tournament. The winner gets a spot in the 5 Bombshells ladder match. It was Lacey Vicious versus Alicia Hicks, and the winner out of that was Lacey Vicious. So she's the first one. Also, Morgan McGinn made an appearance with, she's obviously the Bombshells champion. She was watching both matches during this. She wasn't actually there at ringside, but she was in the back.
Oh,
And
she's watching it. I mean, road to WrestleMania, right? I mean, come on.
yeah, and she's very interested to see who's going to be her opponents. Second match was another Bombshells tournament. It was Bailey versus Duchess, and Bailey just out wrestled her. Just, she beat her.
I dig
And
Bailey. Bailey is definitely an up and coming female superstar. Keep your eye on her. Keep your
yeah,
eye on her. I dig it.
yeah, and you would think that Duchess has been the one that's been like, I want this shot. I want this shot. I will do anything to get the shot. Hey, we gave her the shot, and she came up short.
Yeah. And there was some young gun that was hungry and said, F you. Or this is the podcast. Fuck you. That's what they said. That's what Bailey said to Duchess on Monday. Fuck
Yeah,
you. I'm
yeah,
taking it. You had your shot. Now it's mine. And there you go.
yeah. And I believe, Bailey is going to be one of the Bombshells that's going to, I guess you could say, steal the show when it comes to that match for the Bombshells title at Road to WrestleMania. She either her, Morgan McGinn, or possibly two others. There's still
Oh,
two
yeah.
other people. There's still two other people
And
to
I,
fill up
I
the
know when
card.
it
So
started, there was this whole backlash about, well, why are the women all on, Demolition? And it wasn't that at all. It's just that the women on Showdown are world caliber athletes. Demi May is a former world champ. Ashley Renee is our international champ right now. So we're not saying we don't want the bombshell up in Showdown, but we're saying the bombshell title would have been better represented on another card because up here on Showdown, these girls, they play for real. And that's no disrespect to Bailey or Morgan McGinn or any of them. But
hmm
what I'm saying is when these bombshells come to Showdown, they better be ready to match up with the Ashley Renees and the Demi Mays and the real hard talent we got up here. And it's amazing to see the women down there. You could see it. You really start to see it and you really start them to develop.
yeah, and also this match, match number 3, it was Roman Powers versus Rose Cortez. This was actually Roman Powers' last match. He got
I could
released.
tell.
Yeah, he tried his best, but Rose Cortez was just too much for him. Uh,
Roman Powers, just the name alone reminded me of that shitty tag team in the 80s, Power and Glory.
oh
Or what
yeah,
was
yeah,
it? It was
Power and
like
Glory. Yeah,
Jim Powers, Paul Romers. It was like, oh God, where's the, Jim Brunzell and B. Brian Blair. Can we get any worse than this?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Rose Cortez beat him. I'm surprised that Rose Cortez isn't going after the bombshells, but she probably has a bigger eye on something else. Could be the hardcore title, so we don't know that.
Yeah,
Match.
shout out to the women down there. You have to just go for the bombshells. That's my thing about Demolition right now. We've yet to see a bombshell really go, hey, F you, Caleb, Killer, Foster, McMullen, Orton, whatever the hell your name is nowadays. But why don't we see a lady step up and go, hey, I want that. Screw the bombshell title. No disrespect to the bombshell title. It's got its place. But when are we going to see a lady step up and go, I want the title. I want the hardcore title. I could do it.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to see that very soon. Possibly at WrestleMania, who knows? But we'll talk about that a little later. Match 4 is Matthew Moore. I believe this is his debut match against Robert Saints.
And Saints or two ago too, right?
Yeah, he came for this match. He tried his best.
Oh no, insult. I'm saying both of these guys are fairly still new to the company.
Yeah, they're both fairly new. However, Matthew Moore
on a hell of a match. That's my point. They're both, one is brand spanking new, fresh off the assembly line, still got a diaper on, and then the other one really hasn't been here that long. And they both, I was impressed. I was impressed with the effort both of them put forward.
This is true, and Matthew Moore did get the win, but both of them did show that they're both hungry to make a name for themselves. So,
exactly.
After that, it was Evan Ashton, another new guy. He did a segment and he basically introduced himself to the company. So he's debuting this upcoming Demolition. So that's another new person, as JB would say, coming off the assembly line. So we'll see what he has. Next match was a triple threat match: Annalise Vance versus Latoya Hicks versus Pandora Barrett.
The box returned, but did it really return? I don't think so.
Well, it was a back and forth match from the looks of it, and Annalise Vance got the win. She beat both Latoya and Pandora.
And Pandora Barrett clearly had rust.
Yeah.
When's it coming back? Is it ever coming back?
Yeah, this is very, very true. Jessie Jones made an appearance before her match. Actually, she gave us a little promo. She was stating that, that she was going for the Bombshells title. So after that, it was her against Lily Walker, and this was, I believe, Lily Walker's last match as well.
Go figure. Jessie Jones has been tight. I mean, had a great showing at the Rumble. Has been killing it on Demolition. I mean, this is a player. This is someone that got chops going forward. So props to Jessie Jones, getting it, girl. Screw the Bombshells title. Go for the the hardcore. I'm telling you, maybe that's the one. Maybe that's why we led to this point. Jessie Jones, please take out Caleb, Killer, Jason Crow, Foster, Orton. Take him out, please.
Well, what happened? Okay, Jessie Jones won her match, but what happened after the match? Annalise came down and hit her with a spear. So,
I saw that.
It seems that there's some bad blood there now between the two.
So you beat Annalise's ass, and then you move on to wanting to go for the title. It's like a fly. You got to swat it. Even if you're in the middle of a major goal and you got to accomplish it, a fly buzzing around your face. You take a 10-minute break. Fuck this. This fly's got to die. You take care of it, then you get back on your goal. It's that easy.
Yeah. Match 7, it was the Order, Blackout and Phantom versus Chris and Harlow Orton. And
this was the match I was looking forward to. I mean, you're talking, I am one half of your tag team champions, although, if Big Lev doesn't start showing up a little bit here, I might be both halves of your world tag team champions. If you don't think I'm going to defend it my damn self, you're goddamn out of your mind. But either way, this one intrigued me. And, I'll give Orton and Harlow, Orton and Harlow, I'll give the Ortons whatever's going on there, because, Lord knows we need another Orton. Anyways, but, I'll give them credit. They showed up. But the Order is one I got my eye on. I said it at the Rumble. Blackout surprised the hell out of me. I said that on the podcast that we did afterwards.
This is true.
Phantom has been kind of off and on. I get it. It's cool. but it seems like a cool gimmick. They seem like they got their shit together, and hey, they walked out the victors. So keep an eye on them. I know I am.
Yeah, and I believe that when the time's right, if Blackout doesn't win the hardcore title, he could probably debut on Showdown the next week after WrestleMania. What do you think of that, JV?
If the Order wants to come up and take on the boys, because if you don't think we're going to win at Road to WrestleMania, we need an opponent for WrestleMania. Big Lev and I need someone to face because after Road to Royal Rumble, this Bullet Club, whatever, it ain't going to be nothing left. So we're going to need competition. And right now, the Order, I got my eye on them. They're looking tight. So keep it up, guys.
Yep. Match number 8. It was the special referee with Annalise Vance as a referee again, and it was John Blade versus Caleb Foster.
I
And
think WWH superstar John Blade, my man.
yeah, and Caleb Foster got the win. However, it seemed that Annalise was a little hesitant in giving him the win, though. It seems that there's a little. Could it be a little jealousy there? Who knows? But
I don't know. What's Annalise Vance doing getting involved in like every match? She had a match, and so far she's been involved in 2 matches. I mean, what is she doing? I mean, she really trying to stir the pot that bad? Girl, focus on a title. Stop focusing on fucking around with other people's matches. Focus on yours. Do something.
Well, true. I mean, but then again, though, she is putting herself in 2 title matches, sorta.
Well, yeah. But now, time to put up. Now it's go time. You're done attack people. It's called you got a receipt coming. If you're gonna attack somebody, there's always the receipt. You're gonna get it sooner or later.
Yeah, that's true. And finally, the main event, it was Demolition versus Showdown. It was Brady versus Equinox. And
match I was looking forward to right here.
Brady won via tap out.
Oh, yeah.
I have to say, Brady, he represented Demolition. I was about to say Showdown, but he's not on Showdown. But he represented Demolition very proudly. He's basically the guy that was saying, "Look at us. We're going to be taking over Showdown soon, perhaps, or at least a few of us."
I was looking forward to this match just as much as the tag match that we were talking about earlier. And I was supposed to be on this card. I was supposed to make an appearance. Slap asses and cheer people up in the whole 9 yards. Everything went sideways. But this match is one of the reasons why I'm glad I didn't make it, because I am on Showdown. And Equinox, you brought it. I'm not going to argue. But you let the whole goddamn card down. You're representing the big boys, and you let Brady beat you. And this is no disrespect to Brady, because I've said it before and I'll say it again. He is definitely someone to keep an eye on. I've said that about Nick Sanderson. I've said that about a lot of people, and it always seems to turn out right. So I'm not speaking out my ass, but Equinox is a veteran, and he should have known better. And I think he went into this match, went down there and said, this is just some young punk. I'm going to show him what the business is all about. And this young punk showed you that he's hungry. There's a difference between here's the deal, boss, bro. If you own any kind of business, and I'm a multi-billionaire, I do things all around the world, I'd take one hungry kid over 5 experts that can't get their head out their asses, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And I think Equinox went into this match with his head up his ass saying, I'm that good. And Brady went into it going, I'm hungry. You can be good, I'll be hungry. And guess what? Brady won. Not even won. Tap out. Tap out. You didn't just get your shoulders pinned. You didn't get a DQ. You tapped out.
That's a very good point right there. As I said, he won via tap
Shout
out.
out there to Brady. Congratulations. Congratulations, Brady. Shout out there for the working man.
Yeah, and it almost kind of makes you think, like, Equinox said it on Showdown this week. He's been in, I guess you could say, consecutive losses for 4 weeks in a row now, I believe. I don't know what goes in your mind, JV. Have you been losing almost 4 weeks in a row?
Well, see, there's the problem. I don't think I've ever lost 4 weeks in a row.
I know you.
That's first. I mean, maybe I did when I was younger. I don't know. All the booze, alcohol, Percocets, and frickin', Lithuanian gymnasts erased those memories from my mind. But what I would tell, it's not the fans. It's not anything in particular. It's what it is.
Right.
I mean, you dictate what you do. That'd be like if Equinox said, I've lost 4 matches and it's because, I tried to talk to Johnny V in the back and he brushed me off. It's not my goddamn fault. It's nobody's fault but your own. You make up what you make up. It's all on you. And you can create all the excuses in the world. The end of the day, the only person on the planet that will ever help you is yourself. We come in alone, we go out alone. Figure it out now, bro, or your career is going to go down to shitter. I don't
Yeah,
want to have to watch the resurrection of Equinox like I had to watch the resurrection of Jake the Snake Roberts. Equinox, figure it out.
yeah. And speaking of that, we will now talk about the Demolition card. This is an interesting card, I will say.
Good one for this week.
Yeah, for this week, this coming Demolition this Monday. Uh, Match one, we've got Lily Walker versus Alicia Hicks. Turns out I was wrong. This is going to be Alicia Hicks's make or break match. If she doesn't give it her full 100%, then she's released. That's how it goes. Match two, Pandora Barrett versus Lacey Vicious. Match three, actually, this is a debut, two debuts. Damian Cage versus Red Dragon.
How many
Or
Red Dragons have there been? Like 4,000?
I guess. I don't know. But match four is another Bombshells tournament. And this is another chance for Duchess. It's Duchess against Latoya Hicks. Match
Now,
five.
outside, because I don't know this, all right, because I'm not that involved in knowing every aspect. Are Alicia and Latoya Hicks related? A stupid question, but I got to
Yes.
ask it because we got 47 Ortons and none of them are related.
Yes. Latoya and Alicia Hicks are related.
So
As far as
it's
I
the
know.
Hicks sisters.
The Hicks sisters,
Okay,
yeah. Yeah.
that sounds like some Ozark shit. But hey, either way, I got a litany of dirty jokes there, but I don't want to offend anybody, so we'll move on. Anyways,
Yeah, match five is a debut. It's Evan Ashton versus John Blade.
the best damn WWH superstar of all time, John Blade. Make sure we gotta announce that every time. The greatest WWH superstar of all time, John Blade. I will give up GOAT to John Blade. John Blade, you start calling yourself GOAT. All right, kid?
And match six, we've got
I'm
Harlow.
just joshing, buddy. You keep doing you're doing. You're the man. I love reading John Blade stuff and watching his posts on Twitter and Facebook, going to the show, watching his promos, seeing him in action. People underestimate. But the fact is this: John Blade shows up. John Blade shows up. How many guys do we see that, yeah, they may be there, but they're not really there? They just have that
Right.
glazed look in your eye. John Blade's always hungry. John Blade's always hungry and he's
This is
always
true.
there.
This is true.
Respect that. Respect the kid. He's got talent and he's going to figure it out one day. John Blade, props to you. I'm going to have a swig of beer for John Blade.
And not only that, he did throw out Travis Levette, and we haven't seen Travis Levette since.
Yeah. I had to put that motherfucker on a gallon of milk. He's gone. That's why Lev ain't come back. He's crying. He's putting up posters on fucking telephone poles and shit. Nobody knows where he is.
Have you?
John Blade got that motherfucker. That's the deal.
Yeah. Match six: Harlow Orton versus Morgan McGinn. So this will be an interesting match to see the Bombshells champion in action. So,
Crazy bitches too. These are two crazy whacked out bitches. I mean, McGinn's obviously the champ, right?
yeah, yeah, she
Bombshell champ.
is. Yeah, she
Orton's
is.
been making Orton, Rose, whatever the hell her name is. I just Harlow. That's it. Because I can't every week it's a different last name. So,
Mm-hmm.
anyways, it's like the WWH town bike. Everybody gets a ride. Anyways, so whatever it is, they've showed promise and they've gone forward every single week. So this right now, everything you've read, I'm digging this one right now the most.
And
Oh, I just
obviously,
saw the next match. Fine. Let's talk about that one.
yeah, match seven, a return, another return, just a recent signing return. Devin Copeland versus Chris Orton.
I like this. I like this.
This,
I like Orton. I've liked Orton, but Copeland and I we go back. I don't think it was a world title thing that him and I had, but I believe it was the international. He was the
right?
first one I really went back and forth with for the international, and it was kind of him and me making a play to be the guy on Showdown while Jason Crow was kicking ass on Inner Circle, and the guy gave me the fight of my life, and I respect him for it. So I'm stoked to see him back and work his way up this card. There's a reason on his debut he's match 7. No fucking joke.
Mm-hmm. Match eight, another good match: Matthew Moore versus Brady.
You're going to throw my man after 1 week. He had one match 1 week. You're going to throw him against Brady. I guess balls to the wall, Matt. You better bring it, baby.
Yep. Well, hey, he had a good debut, and everyone seems to be getting behind him. So let's just see how he is against a seasoned wrestler. Let's see how he does. Match 9 is another big match. I guess you could say a kind of a preview, but not necessarily a preview. It's Phantom with Blackout in his corner against Caleb Foster.
Caleb Killer, Jason Crow, Foster, Orton. That's what I'm calling it from now on. But anyways, yeah, he's your champ, and he deserves it. So he's proved that he is the top of the top of Demolition. Here's my thing going into Road to WrestleMania, and we're going to talk about this later, but I just want to say it now. If Caleb Foster were to lose the title at Road to WrestleMania, would
Mm-hmm.
he make the jump to Showdown? Honestly, do you think he would? Or would he want the rematch? Because, I mean, honestly, let's face facts. He is the best superstar on Demolition by proxy. Obviously, he's the champ. He's the man.
Right.
So if you lose, yes, he has the shot for a rematch, but I would also think he's got the chance to go, hey, I was the champ for quite a long time. I'm leaving.
I think knowing him though, knowing him just by seeing how the way he is, he seems like a guy that would want to keep a title for a good while. So knowing him, and plus, why would you not want a rematch at the biggest stage of them all, right?
Exactly.
I mean, go for that title, and if you lose again, then hey, you can say, okay, I did my part. I'm going to Showdown now.
Good point. Good point. Let's talk about this main event because I'm excited. You don't see many chicks get in a ring in a steel cage.
This is
That's
true,
awesome.
and it's a Bombshells championship tournament, so the winner gets a
This is
spot
the last spot, right?
This is the last. This is the last spot. It's a steel cage match between Annalise Vance and Jesse Jones. Obviously, last week on Demolition, Annalise was everywhere, but
Yeah.
it seems it turns out that Annalise was the one that called out Jesse Jones and said, "Hey, let's fight in a steel cage," and obviously Jesse Jones accepted. So here we are. Both of these bombshells are very hungry. They want that title. Annalise is a former champion, so it could kind of make sense as to why she wants to get back into this. She wants to reclaim that title, but she did say that I mean, like we all saw last week, she did get involved a little bit in the hardcore title. So it's more of which
I mean,
one.
I would say if you're trying to get into the bombshell title, how about you focus on Jesse Jones? How about you leave all these other guys alone? Because Jesse Jones, no goddamn joke. No
Yeah,
joke. And guess what? There's going to be no interference. There's going to be no way to get in or out. You're locked in a
and
20 by 20 surrounded by 2 tons of steel. Get your shit ready. If
and
she is serious about going for that title, this is the night to do it. And I'm not saying she can't. She's a previous champ. You can't argue with that. That's
this
what
is
it
true.
is. This is the night to do it, though, sweetheart. No offense to you. I'm not demeaning you by calling you sweetheart, but just the point being, tonight's the night. When Monday rolls around and that cage lowers, time to shine. The
And
talk is done. It's time to put it up.
And this is not like your normal steel cage fences type match. This is the old school blue bar, like
Oh,
legit.
nice.
The legit, like as soon as you throw somebody to the ropes, you hear the clacking sound of the cage.
We're not going to have awkward big men or big women climbing up a cage that barely should be, walking. Never mind climbing up a steel fence type thing. They're
Yeah,
actually going to be able to move around there, crack some skulls, and get the hell out if they have to.
yeah, yeah. That's
All right, awesome.
it's gonna be a great match. Uh, as far as people that are appearing, as far as segments or promos, or they're scheduled to appear, I guess you could say. We got Blackout, Devin Copeland, Stefan Rab, Matthew Moore, Caleb Foster, Damian Cage, and Bailey. So
Nice.
everyone's gonna be out there. Now let's move on to Showdown.
Demolition, has there been any more stir of Stefan Robb possibly joining the ranks in the 20 by 20? I mean, we talked about it a little
She
bit. We
did.
talked about it at the Rumble. We talked about it on the last podcast. What's the deal? This guy's talented. I mean, if you had to ask me right now, who's the most talented wrestler on Demolition, I'm saying Stefan Robb. I saw it firsthand. I was in the goddamn ring to the final 3. I saw it. That's my opinion. So what's the deal?
Well, I will say that at the Royal Rumble, Stefan really did show what he can do. I talked to Fizz, his wife, and from what she said, it's very tempting. very tempting for what from what she told me. But for now, she said that he's going to think about it. He hasn't really given a straightforward answer on it, but from the
Hey,
Royal
us old
Rumble,
timers, you got to think about it. You think I didn't? You think I just called you out of the blue and said, "Hey, you looking for a wrestler?" No, I thought about that shit for months. I get it. I get it.
yeah,
Shot a bear, wig a bear. Steph and Rob, you want to come back, kid? You go right ahead. I'm not looking for a fight, but whatever. I think you'd be a glorious addition to the roster. You got talent. You got Schutzpah, the whole goddamn 9 yards. Bring it if you want, and if not, keep doing the fabulous job you're doing over there training those kids down there because hey, when he got on board with Demolition, look at all the talent coming on. Look at all these guys learning, growing, proving. Give the man the respect. He's grooming talent down there. And the one time he got in, he stepped up. Can't complain. Kudos to you. Swig a beer for the working man.
this is true. So let's move on to Showdown. Um, it turns out the first match was going to be Luvia Luna versus Aphrodite, but Aphrodite, not Aphrodite, Luvia Luna. Um,
Luna. We'll get to that later.
we'll just say Luna. She got attacked. Um, and turns out the match didn't happen, so that match got canceled, unfortunately. Um, Second match, it was a triple threat between Soraya Waters, Travis Levette, and Marius. Very
I
good
like
match. It was a very good match. However, um, you know, Travis got destroyed. Obviously, he got sent through. I believe he got sent through a table, and he got carried out. So it was basically between Soraya and Marius got the win. But
totally impressive. This was Marius's first time on Showdown, right?
it was not only his, but it was also Soraya. So this was kind of like a demolition match on Showdown, but not necessarily
Yeah, and both
demolition.
of them proved it. I
Yeah,
mean, we're talking about they stepped in the ring with what was supposed to be the number one contender going into the Rumble, like the guy everybody thought was going to win the Rumble. And they both walked out looking tons better than that guy. And one of them got the win. And both kudos to both of them. Kudos to both. Matter of fact, I'll switch from beer and I'll go to whiskey. Shot of whiskey to Marius and Soraya Waters for putting on one hell of a show, the opening match, and really tearing it up. You guys proved everything to the guys in Demolition. You can come up, you can make a difference. And they showed it.
this is true. And following that, there was a segment with, I believe, Tio and Demi
Uh,
May.
we ain't got to talk about Teo. Now
Yeah,
look at me fucking started on that pipsqueak.
but
Is there a Rite Aid open right now? Can I go get some guy liner? Do we have that? We have
yeah,
Adrian. Do we got an assistant? Go give me some guy liner. I just don't want Tio to feel out of line. And JV will put on some guy liner, little
but
oil of Olay, make my skin shine and shit. Come on, get out of here.
yeah, and but following that was a segment by I believe Ashley Renee, and she was focusing on Ryan Payne, but she was also kind of mentioning Equinox and Extend. She was talking about the match at the Royal Rumble. She's the champ, and now, however, Ryan Payne snapped, attacked her, sent her to through a
Her,
table.
this is what her whole promo was. Seriously, being a former international, intercontinental, tag, world, whatever, that whole thing, it's simple to clarify it. Marking your territory. And that's what the girl had to do. She
Yeah,
had to go out there and say, just piss in the middle of the ring and say, look at me. This is my belt. You want it? Come get it. These are the guys. You. You think you got it? Bring it, bitches. And then drop the mic and leave. And she did it. And she's got every goddamn right to. She got every goddamn right to because she's your international champ. And everyone she called out, prove her wrong. That's
yeah,
it. Prove
this is
her wrong.
true.
Equinox, Ryan Payne, Nick Sanderson, even though Nick's going for this Chris Matthews clusterfuck road to WrestleMania thing, whatever. We'll get to that later. But she did what she had to do as the champ. She came out and said, "This is who I am. Come get it."
Yeah,
Congratulations to
this is true. And after that, it was your match, JV. You against Niobe Martin.
Livia
And
Luna, right?
well, yeah,
Right.
that's true. That's true. I think a good third of the match, you were like yelling "Luvia Luna, you bitch," and turns out it wasn't Luvia. You were drunk.
Yeah,
Obviously, you were drunk.
not
Yeah,
during the match. Obviously, I would not wrestle drunk because I always take care of my fellow wrestlers. But
I don't know.
obviously, when I
There was that
promos,
one. I don't know, JV. There was that one time.
there was a few times, but it was always against my brother because we were both herring when we did it. It's okay. It's no big deal.
This is
Here's
true.
the deal. One, I deal with way too many women, so names just get confused. Like I'm big on, sweetie, I don't need to know your name because you're not going to be here in the morning for breakfast. It don't matter. So when I step into a ring with one, I don't necessarily need to know the name either. And I prove that in all my promos going into the match. I mean, y'all saw me in my hotel room with the girl. I was like, kick the fucking bricks, bitch. I don't need this shit. So going into the match, it didn't really bother me. Her name could have been Jeannie. It could have been Sarah. It could have been Jill. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna beat your ass, and I did, and that's it.
And but also let's take it to the outside of the ring. Levenator was there, and guess who shows up? Tio, and he got a little involved, but not to the point to where it actually cost you the match. Correct, JV?
He's not doing anything to
Yeah.
us. He keeps it. And, we go. Well, let's go. Let's fast forward like 20 minutes in the podcast. It's the fucking ant thing. Like, Lev and I got the titles. We could give a fuck less. We got nothing to prove. We got them. Whatever. But this fucking kid is driving me up a wall. Like, I just,
I mean,
like
like example,
I
like
just want to
let's
shove his
just
head into a wall. Just
like
shove his head into a wall for no reason. Like if I cross him in the back locker room, just randomly smash, and then they're gonna go, JV, you got to go see Adrian. Why? Oh, you're getting fined for smashing Tio's face into the wall. And then I'm gonna sit down and you're gonna be like, why'd you do that? I don't know. Felt right. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna be like, felt like the thing to do.
but let's just say what happened. He tried to interfere in your match, but Levenator was there and he started beating him up. He did what he had to do. He was there for a reason, correct?
Exactly.
So
We get to the upcoming showdown card. Hopefully there'll be a little bit of retribution. But let's continue on the path we're going.
yeah, after that match and after that little chaos, Equinox comes out and he basically says that there was so much hype for this ladder match and he didn't get the win. And then he asks everybody, and they were chanting his name, and he said, "Do you guys still think I have what it takes?" And he goes, "I don't know where or when I go from here," or something like that. So, as he's
I didn't see this segment because after what I saw on Demolition, when I saw him come out on Showdown, I went and took a piss. I was in the back. I was in the back getting unwrapped. But you got the monitors in all the locker rooms, so the show's always on. I mean, no matter where you are. I think you got monitors in the bathroom. I could be at the urinal and still watch the show. But I was so infuriated with the fact that he was on Showdown after foully misrepresenting us on Demolition 3 days earlier that I was like, I don't even want to see this market right now. I don't. I just don't. Sorry. Equinox, I'm sorry. I don't want to talk to you. You need to go back to show. You need to go back to Demolition and earn it.
this I don't know, who knows. I mean, this could possibly, maybe that's probably what needs to happen for him. Maybe he needs to get that spark lit up inside of him again, like who knows for sure. But after Equinox there was another segment with CM Punk, and even though he says that, even though he's not scheduled, he just showed up, and he said, is anything wrong with that? Obviously not. You can show up even if you're not booked. You could still show up. You can hang out. You can do whatever. You can party. Hell, JV was. I'm sure after your match, JV, you partied like nothing, even though you were still pissed,
By the
right?
time, I ignored the Equinox segment, but I went on. By the time the CM Punk segment ran on, I was already balls to the wall. I was already blitzed. I was already gone. I mean, I think there was like what 4 or 5 police called. I mean, it was a shit show. It involved a donkey and popcorn. It was crazy, but we got through it. I'm going to take a dock in the paycheck this week, but you pay me so goddamn much, it ain't going to matter a bit of difference anyways. We move on. But CM Punk has a right, and I like this kid. He, like you said before, you said it before. He had a week off, and he showed up just to show up. That's heart.
Yeah,
That's hungry.
yeah,
That's the running theme with tonight's podcast. Heart and hungry. You keep hearing me say this with certain guys. Heart and hungry. Heart and hungry. And this kid's got it. CM
yep.
Punk is
This is true.
fucking hungry. Watch
Yeah,
out for him.
I believe he has a good chance at the international title. Do you agree?
Yeah, easily. He's
And
got the capabilities. Whether he does it or not, again, going back to Equinox, it's on you. Just like it's on CM Punk, just like it's on the Jay Veester, just like it's on Adrian, Boss Bro, to put up a great product week in and week out for 2 different shows. It's on all of us to do our fucking jobs. CM Punk constantly does his job. So kudos to him. Swig a beer to CM Punk.
all right, and the next match after that, well, actually, the match following the segment, I guess you could say it was one of the matches of the
It's
night
the,
per
I
se.
call it I call it General Hospital. That's what I call it. It's just drama within
Yeah,
drama within drama. It's a guy's some one guy that I beat his ass a month ago versus another guy I beat his ass 2 weeks ago.
yeah,
That's what it is. I don't know what the
yeah,
hell's going on with the Devil's Rejects and Bullet Club, but Lev and I are over here waving our hands, going, "Hey, we got the belts, dipshits." You know, I
yeah.
mean, it's like y'all remember us. We're the guys that smoked both of you dumb motherfuckers. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I think these two teams are well. I don't even know if Devil's Reject are even still a team at this point with whatever is going on with them. But Bullet Club, they already made it known that they want their rematch at Road to WrestleMania. So at least you got that going, JV. So that
I'm not worried about either of these teams
yeah,
because when it started, I said this in my promo and I've said this in podcasts before. We systematically took apart the Devil's Rejects. They have not been the same since they faced us. Now we took on the Bullet Club. What happened after we took the titles off the Bullet Club? They somehow got intertwined with the Devil's Rejects. We
this is
are
true.
systematically destroying every tag. You lose your mojo, you lose your way of life, and you don't know what the fuck to do when you've been in the ring with myself, the greatest of all time, and the big Aussie sensation Lev. It's just the truth. And these guys are proof in the pudding. But let's talk about the match because the match itself, quite exciting. It actually was quite exciting.
Yeah, this is true. It was Xavier versus Jake Orton with well, a few surprises. Both men just they hated each other. You could clearly show as soon as the match began, Xavier came out first, and Jake Orton just attacked him from behind.
As he should.
And yeah,
I mean, you heard it
and
last week. The boy wanted it. The boy,
yeah,
I'll give Jake Gordon credit. He came on here last week. He said what he had to say. Not very fluently, bro. Work on your promo skills, but you said it to the point where it got over. And then come showdown, you put it up. And that's all that counts in this business. You said it and you put it up. Kudos to him.
yeah,
Swig a beer for, Jake Gordon for stepping up.
yeah. And after the match, we Xavier won, but during the end of the match, um,
I
Tio
have a feeling this involves guy liner and fucking painted fingernails. Oh, you said Tio. There you go. Okay.
yeah, Tio came out. He was still hurt from Levinator, but Levinator ended up coming out after him. He kind of wanted to finish the job, and Jake did. What did he do? Because I remember it. He took him out, and Lev was down. But then you came out to kind of help Lev, to kind of even the odds, so to speak. But
Oh yeah.
Tio stepped away, and Jake was distracted by you and Lev, and Xavier just hits him with the wind choke, and he got the win. But what happened after the match? Tio attacked, excuse me, Xavier, and there was just a huge brawl from there. And then you and Lemonade came in and went after Jake and Tio, and Xavier escaped, but Xavier thought that he would be out of the mess, and turns out Colby came running down the ramp and attacked Xavier, and Xavier escaped through the barrier, through the crowd, into the back, and Colby was chasing him, and the ring crew was basically trying to break you two teams up. You two teams. That sounds weird. But you, Levinator, and Bullet Club, it was just chaos everywhere.
Oh yeah,
And
I mean, trust me, that is the perfect word, chaos. Lev and I are in this. Lev and I are comfortable where we are. We know where we are. We know who we are. We know what we're doing, and we're in the middle of this clusterfuck of what the fuck is going around. And in the middle of that, Lev and I just want to beat the shit out of Tio. It's Rob Riggle and Step Brothers. We just want to change your face. Change your face. We don't like it. That's it. We don't like you. We don't like who you are. Change your face. And if you don't know how to do it, we're going to change your face for you with multiple fists to it. And that's it. And then you got these outside characters like Jake Orton, who I got no problem with. But on the end result, step in the ring with me, kid, and I'm going to put your ass on the ground. Then you got the Devil's Rejects. It's like, we're done with you. Like, get the hell out of here. I'm just waiting for Maury Povich to show up and go, Johnny V, you are not the father. And I'm like, okay, sweet. This gimmick's over. Let's go. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm almost lost in my own shoot. I don't understand what the hell's happening.
Now, what happens after the match? There was another segment, and it turns out it was your manager, Ric Flair.
Oh, yeah, Slick Rick returning bigger, better, and badder than ever. I told you all the week before. My man is back, and he's pissed. He's pissed because the last time he was in WWH, he wasn't proud of it. And I won't speak for the man because I can't do a Ric Flair impersonation to save my goddamn life, but I'll convey his message. What you all saw when WWH reopened was bullshit. And what you'll see going forward, Slick Rick is back. Slick Rick is happy. And Lev and I both were beyond proud to put our tag team titles on. Because trust me, Lev and I were there in the gorilla position. When that music hit, we were very proud as professional wrestlers to slap both of our titles on his shoulders and let him go out and represent us. There's a reason he's back. If anybody is ever going to represent the real athlete and the Aussie sensation, it's the motherfucking nature boy, Ric goddamn Flair. And I won't even give a woo because I ain't going to disrespect the man.
Now, he did, like you said, he came out with your titles and said that he basically sent the roster a message that old school's here, we're the best, you're not. He even threw the belts down and did a elbow drop on both of them.
I love that, man. I mean, he gave the elbow drop, took the jacket off, loosened the tie, gave multiple elbow drops. I love the motherfucker. Flair and I go way back. You know that, Adrian. We go way back. NWO. He was my manager for the longest time. I got mad respect for the man, and I'm glad he's back in the right form because the last time he was in WWH, he didn't have the right frame of mind. But now that he's back where he belongs with champions, like he said, 5-meter boards, driving the Don Z29s on the Intercoastal, that's where he belongs. And now that he's back with champions, that's where we go. And you saw it. You saw it.
This is true. Now let me ask an interesting question here. Since he's a manager, has he, aside from you guys, from you and Lemonator, is there anybody else that he's possibly interested in managing?
He's had conversation with me that I won't speak out of line with him about. That's for him to figure out and go forward. But he's definitely got his eyes on some guys. And that doesn't mean bringing him into a stable with Levin or anything, but he's definitely interested in branching out to possibly be like a Paulie Heyman. Like I have a consortium of guys. They may not all get together. They may not all fight together, but I represent them because I'm a champ and they're a champ. There's no doubt about it. He would definitely think about that. We've had those discussions. And how can you argue? How can you argue? I'm one of the greatest of all. I call myself the greatest of all time, and I still drop to my knees when that motherfucker walks in the locker room. He tells me, JV, get the fuck up. Get the fuck. What the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, Rick, I'm dropping for you, bro. I'm dropping for you. That's it. You drop for the man. This is the greatest professional wrestler of all time. And if he come a call and you don't answer, shame on you. There's a reason I've won 11 world titles. And part of it is because of Ric Flair. Wouldn't be here without the man. Period.
All right.
Period.
Now, after that segment, we had another one with Juniper Stevens, or June, which is Nick Sanderson's manager. Interesting conversation. She and basically said that Nick Sanderson is all she did was basically promote the main event tonight or last week.
Juniper fairly new because I'm new to this whole thing. Like I know Nick Sanderson, but when did Juniper really start flowing through? Is this a new thing?
I believe she started like maybe a month or two ago.
Okay.
But
Because like I
she
said, this is the first time I saw like, oh, saying some shit.
yeah, well, hey, she's his manager, you know, like
I mean, obviously, we just talked about Ric Flair talking about me. I get it, but I'm just saying this is like the first time for last week's podcast. I said Ric Flair was coming back. This week we're already talking. Hey, Ric Flair said I'm coming back, but now you're telling me 1-2 months this girl's been around, but this is like the first time I've noticed like, oh shit, someone else speaking on Nick Sanderson's behalf. So it's a little bit like,
weird,
what the hell happened in a
so
month, 2 months?
like surprising is in other words. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's like how did this take that long to develop? You know?
Well, hey, maybe as they say, wait for the right moment.
Swig a
Uh,
beer to Nick Sanderson. All I can tell you, bro, is a little bit of advice. Never get your girl involved in the business. That's why I'm a single man. That's why I'm a working man. Swig a beer to the working man and swig a beer to Nick Sanderson.
well,
But you
here's the
bring
thing.
your girl in the locker room.
Wait a minute.
Hey,
Well,
learn from the Macho Man. Why do you think he kept Elizabeth locked in a locker room all goddamn night? It's a rowdy bunch and we're all crazy as shit. There's a
that's
reason.
that's true. Now, after the segment, we had another good match. It was the Detroit Street Fight between Ryan Payne and Jacob Cass, and Ashley Renee was on commentary.
I loved it.
It was a
I loved
very, it was a brawl. It was, to say the least. It was, and it didn't help that Ashley Renee was antagonizing Ryan Payne throughout most of it.
That's
uh,
her job, though. That's her job. We already talked about this. She was
yeah,
pissing in the ring, marking her territory. That was her job.
yeah,
I'm loving, I already briefly mentioned like the resurrection of Jake the Snake, resurrection of Equinox, and Ryan Payne has never had any of that kind of fallout, but we are literally witnessing a semi-resurrection of Ryan Payne, and I don't mean that from he was a drug addict or anything like that, but I'm saying we're seeing him come back, and
yeah.
trust me, I'm the guy to say that because I headlined pay-per-views in this company for the world title with this guy, and he's close, dangerously close. If people aren't paying attention to Ryan Payne, you're out of your fucking mind. Out
The,
of your mind. Payne is dangerously close. Wake up and smell it. Ryan Payne is almost back. And this is coming from the JV through, who readily comes out week after week and tells you, you're not getting the same me. You're getting me, but it's not the same me. But I'm telling you right now, we're pretty close to seeing the same Ryan Payne, and I'm proud of the guy. I'm proud of the guy. He's kicking ass and taking names, and he deserves all the accolades he gets. And Ashley, she's pissing on the fucking ring. She's marking her territory, but she better be ready because I really have a feeling this international thing is going to run down to Ashley and Payne. Those are going to be the guys that go, guy and gal, sorry, but they're going to be the two that really go for it. And I hope Ashley's ready because Ryan Payne is no fucking joke.
yeah, well, let's talk a little bit about the match as well. Payne threw Cass at Ashley while she was on commentary. Like he knocked her down on purpose, it seems, because of the
I know.
antagonizing. That was yeah, that was not gonna lie, that was a funny thing to say. I kind of chuckled at that because
Walk to the ropes in her direction, grab your balls, the whole nine. You got to do something. I mean, what are you
yeah,
going to do? She came out earlier, cut a promo mentioning your name and, marking the territory. He's going to wrestle and she's there. You're not going to do anything. I mean, come on. He's totally justified.
and also what happened next, or at least following that, um, Ashley got pissed and attacked Payne, and it was very close because he was about to get the win at that point at least. But Ashley came in, hit him with a clothesline, and then just told Jacob to get up because at that point Jacob was sent through a table. He missed Payne, and he came. He was kind of out of it at that point, and Ashley held Ryan up for Jacob to hit the what's his move? The death blow. That's what it was. And Ryan ducked, hit Ashley with the death blow, knocked her out of the ring, and Ryan Payne hits the hollow point onto a chair, and Cass was out, and Ryan Payne wins. But what happened after that? Ashley grabbed the international title and knocked Payne out.
As she
So
should.
yeah, and I believe at WrestleMania, not the road to WrestleMania, I mean actual WrestleMania, that these two are going to go at it for the international
Oh,
title.
yeah. Well, we haven't talked about Road to WrestleMania or WrestleMania yet, so we'll get there. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'm very, I just said the
I
same thing.
Yeah,
I just said literally the same thing. Like, these are the two. Like, you could tell these two are going for it. And that's my biggest thing. One, Ryan, you're there, bro. You have got it back. You keep riding that. And then to Ashley, girl, you have earned that title every step of the way. You are the utmost deserving of having that title. But please beware, there's a guy coming for you, and he is no fucking joke. I'm excited about this little angle and where it's going. And you saw the anger, hatred, and this whole thing out layer going on Showdown. It was awesome. It was totally awesome.
And after that, there was a segment with Jacob Cass. Uh, Basically, I don't know. They showed both Payne and Cass being kind of carried out into the back, and it kind of the way that it was shot. It was kind of like an old western movie. If you've seen that, if you've seen those types of movies, JB.
Yeah, I've seen it all. I've done it all. I've experienced it all. Jacob Cass, no offense, bro, like figure it out.
Yeah,
Jacob Cass is one of those guys on our roster that I like his stuff, but I don't feel it. I don't feel it. I don't when I read Jacob's stuff and read what he says on Twitter and Facebook, and when I see the promos he cuts, and when I see him get in the ring and cut a segment, or I see him in the ring and I actually see him wrestle, I don't see theme hungry. I
yeah,
don't see it. I don't see hungry and heart. I see dedication. I see learning.
okay,
I
yeah,
see willingness to grow, but I don't see hunger. I don't see he had a
right,
shot. I mean, Ryan Payne has been skyrocketing up. And some can say, well, Ryan Payne's only skyrocketing up because, blah, blah, blah. No, bullshit. Ryan Payne's earned it. From the
yeah,
Rumble, before the Rumble, a few weeks before, he has shown he's got that hunger back. You had your shot, and you didn't really do it. You didn't
yeah,
really do it. This is the time to shine. This
yeah.
was your shot, and you fell flat. And this isn't the first time I've felt that way with Jacob Cass. And every time I'm like, Jacob's going to bring it this week. He's got to bring it this week. This is his week. This is his week. And then I just leave and I go,
What
nope, not this
happened?
week, I guess.
What
And I
happened,
keep
basically?
waiting. I keep waiting.
Yeah, and after that, it was another segment with Fedor or Fedor. Is that how you say his name? I don't know, but it was basically Bullet Club sacrificing Fedor to their, I guess, their new leader, which is turns out it was Demi May. It's
It all ties into this weird. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I've
yeah,
lost track.
yeah,
Evan and I are standing back we're leaning against like a brick wall with the titles on our shoulders, like the kids fight it out. That's basically what we're doing. We're like just sitting back going, who the fuck is coming out of this, taking us on at WrestleMania?
yeah.
Seriously, it's like this is just a shit show right now. If you thought previous podcasts were a clusterfuck, the tag title and this whole more of a cluster. So I don't know where it's going.
Yeah, and following that, there was another segment by Colby, and this
Yeah,
wasn't.
it just continues.
Yeah,
Days of Our Lives, episode 3.8.
yeah. But the difference with this one, it seems, is if any we all saw it. But Colby was pissed. He was not in.
He was.
He
This one I
was
saw. This one I saw.
he was not in a good mood at all, and rightfully so, because Xavier's causing a lot of chaos. We keep referring to that word, chaos. um, but after that, it seems that these two might fight. Just we don't know when. It could be at WrestleMania. It could be at Road to WrestleMania. We don't know. We don't know. But let's get to the main event. It
The
was
way Old School ended the Devil's Rejects, just so everybody remembers that. Old School was the demise of the Devil's Rejects. We will be the demise of the Bullet Club. And whatever fortunate, unfortunate tag team steps up at WrestleMania, we will destroy you too, and you will never be the same.
all right, all
That's
right.
it.
You
Don't
know,
do that. We're talking about the main event, and it's a tag team match.
it was a
And I'm not
big.
going to lie,
It was a big one. It was
it
Finn
was a
Balor.
huge. Balor, Nick Sanderson, Damage, Chris Matthews. It was huge. But we all know Nick Sanderson, love the guy. He's not a tag guy. He's not a
Yeah,
tag guy. This is your world champion. No offense, Fields. I love you, bro. But Sanderson's got heavyweight goal. No, fucking over him. And it's going to happen sooner or later. But what I thought was interesting, this is my take. Damage and Matthews made a good team.
Yeah, they did.
Damage made a
They.
good because
I,
I'm half of your tag champs. That's why I'm saying that. I'd be interested in taking these guys on because I mean, I'd be interested in taking on Finn Balor and Nick Sanderson, obviously. But I
and
know Nick's got big fish to fry.
well,
But
here.
Damage and Chris Matthews was surprising to me because going into it, I was worried about how those two would coexist. Because last week's podcast, Jake Orton go, you better watch Damage, you better watch Damage, you better watch Damage. And guess what? They put the fucking show on. They did.
Also, let me say this: Damage is almost as tall as Levinator too.
Yeah.
So I think Damage would be the guy that would kind of take Levinator down, like not just like a clothesline down. I think he would literally scoop him up, slam him down, or even a power bomb to him
Oh yeah. I mean,
if he
Damage
wanted to.
big as Lev, no doubt about it. And Chris Matthews maybe owns socks as big as my dick. So we got that kind of thing going. We'll see where it goes from there. So I mean, either way, it could be an amazing matchup. The point being is like I said on last week's podcast, we were talking about Jake Orton was going off and 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 off. Oh, sound producer telling me stop, but I'm going to go one more off and off and off about how watch out for Damage, watch out for Damage. Well, Damage showed up, and Damage was a worthwhile partner. And
This is true.
Damage, I would say, carried the team of Damage and Chris Matthews. So much for your theory, Jake Orton. Damage was the best out of those two partners. Now, I know Finn and Nick, I think they won, right? They
Yeah,
won, right?
they won. They got the win. And what happened
But
was
up a goddamn show.
what happened was from I'll just show the highlights a little bit. Matthews was about to hit his finisher on I believe it was Sanderson, but no, Finn. It was I believe it was going to be on Finn. I think one of the two, and Matthews got screwed up on the ropes because Finn was on the top rope, but Matthews like made him lose his balance, landed on his nuts. Happens on the turnbuckle, and Sanderson like made him slip on the middle rope. Matthews fell down, and at the same time, Sanderson knocked down Damage. So Damage was on the floor. Finn hit the coup de grace, and that's how he got the win on Matthews and Damage. Uh, and from the looks of it, Damage was not happy about it. He was, and rightfully so. I mean, I'm sure you understand, JB. Like you do most of the work, and you let the other guy tag in to get the pin, but turns out he ends up losing the match for him.
It happens. That's the part of tag team wrestling. You're not on your own.
Yeah,
I know I can handle myself on my own. I know I can do what I have to do, but sometimes it just feels better to have that backup, parameter. These guys, they can't figure it out. I took a guy that I knew would have my back, and he's had my back, and here we are. Titles on our shoulders. It's hard. Bro, it's hard walking around with 20 extra pounds of gold. My back's hurt. I'm back in chiropractic. I got to go every Wednesday morning. I got to get my back adjusted because I'm walking around with this title on my waist. It sucks. I totally get it. But I do it because I know I got the guy in my corner that can do it. So I go back to last week when Jake Orton kept beating the horse about how Damage was not to be trusted and Matthew should watched out. And I'm almost regretting the fact that I didn't tell Damage, hey, Damage, maybe Matthews shouldn't have been trusted. Maybe you should have looked at that a little bit better because Damage was a major player in this match. In my personal opinion, the guy brought it. Sanderson, obviously, always going to bring it. But then you got Finn Balor and Matthews. They're kind of, both of them to me, it felt like Damage, again, back to the theme, hungry, hungry.
yeah,
Sanderson, obviously, I've been saying this since November. If you ain't all fucking got it, then you're too damn stupid to listen. Sanderson is hungry. Then you kind of felt like Balor and Damage were kind of sitting back going, when's my spot? When's my spot? When's my spot? No, you don't wonder when your spot is. You take your spot. And when you
yeah.
got it, you step up. And it
This is
felt
true.
like that whole match, neither of them took that shot.
That's true. I mean, Finn Balor did take the chance, and he did get the pin on Matthews, and As far as I know, backstage, at least from what Riley told me, because she was there making sure that everyone was scheduled to leave on certain times, and she saw after the match, Matthews was he was a little down. I think he could blame it on himself because he was the one that got pinned after all. But I think he probably wanted to get the pin on Sanderson to kind of send a message because they do have that big match coming out at Road to WrestleMania.
They do. Now, make no bones about it. Matthews is in the same category of Equinox. Your
Yeah,
name doesn't matter shit anymore just because you've been here the longest. We've got young guys showing you up. So step up. It's
yeah,
not a matter of Matthews was champ because he was just here. He's lost that. Fields is the champ. He's never been able to get it back. Now he wants it back. Well, now Sanderson is here. So time to nut up or shut up. Same thing with Equinox. It just goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Shut the fuck up about where you've been and do what you do. Now, mind you, I know I'm one of the biggest violators of that rule, talking about where I've been. But here's the deal, folks, whether you like it or not, I put it up like nobody's business. I do it like nobody before me, and I do it on a consistent basis. Equinox and Matthews do not, in my opinion. They don't. Now, am I detrimenting them for any purpose outside of my own well being? No, I'm not. I'm just saying, I know what these guys are capable of. That's what bothers me the most. When I say these things, I'm saying it from a part where I want these guys to hear it because they need to hear it from me. Both of them have it. We've seen it, but we haven't seen it in so long. And they want us to remember what they did 4 months ago. Guess what? That was 4 fucking months ago. It's now, sweetie. It's now. And we need you now. And both of you aren't doing it. So, kudos to Sanderson, kudos to Damage, and even kudos to Baylor. He put up a good show. But Matthews really let his team down. Really let his team down when he had a chance to, number one, like you said, he's going in the road to WrestleMania, taking this motherfucker on. He had to step up, and he didn't. His partner did. Damage isn't taking on Sanderson at Road to WrestleMania, right? Am I wrong? No?
Well, Damaged and Finn Balor, they've been kind of at each other. So it may actually happen at Road to WrestleMania with
Well, I mean, that's
Finn.
my question. Is Damage taking on Nick Sanderson for a possible WrestleMania shot?
Uh, well, I believe they're
No.
face. No, I don't believe so. No.
Yeah, that's my point. So Damage wasn't looking at this going forward for his career. He was just doing it of this is the night I have to win. And
Right.
Damage put up all he could.
And most of the time he
Matthew,
was, and most of the time he was owning Sanderson. Like
yeah,
that was surprising. Like I would
Damage is
say,
one of those kids I've been saying for the longest time. He got talent. He got talent,
yeah,
and it's finally starting to show. You've seen that the last couple of weeks in Damage. This kid can hang. Is
yeah.
he Sanderson, Fields, Demi May, Johnny V, Levinator, Ashley Renee, that kind of level? No, not there yet, but you can see the kid's got chops and he can
Yeah,
damn well get there.
this,
So
this, is- this is
anybody
true.
going forward, if you see your name on the marquee across from Damage, take it fucking seriously. And that's the thing that bugs me with Matthews. He knew he had a strong partner. Now, Sanderson's the man. And I love Finn Balor. Finn Balor, he's made a name, kinda, sorta. He's been a solid contributor. But if I was Matthews and I was going into it and I'm like, oh, I got Damage on my side, I'm fucking stoked. I'm stoked. I'm like, I'm the man, and this guy is the man. We're set. No problem. I can understand if Nick Sanderson went, well, I'm the man, but I don't really know this Finn Balor guy. I mean, Damage and Chris Matthews on paper sounds like an awesome fucking team. Steph
This
Curry,
is
Clay
true.
Matthews, Golden State Warriors. I mean, you're talking some heavy shit. But what happened? They lost. And why
Yeah.
did they lose? Because Matthews didn't bring his A game, but he talks like he's got an A game. Well, time to put it up.
Yep. And now let's talk about what happened after the match. There was a segment with Jacob Cass, and looks like
It blew my mind.
yeah.
You explain it. You continue explaining because I didn't understand a goddamn thing that went on.
Okay, what happened is I guess there's a new stable, and it's called the Soulless Kingdom, I believe. He just introduced a new stable, and it is him and Lance Adams, Jacob Cass and Lance Adams. And they made it clear to all the champions on Showdown that they're going after him. And they said the first thing that they're going after is the tag titles. So they instantly put
No,
targets.
like I said, I watched it. I heard old school Ashley Renee, Randy Fields. They all
They,
mentioned a couple of guys. Here's my problem. How about you win a fucking match? You're gonna come out and call the champions out. You just lost to Ryan Payne. You,
that's true.
you, you lose on the show, and then you end the show coming out talking about the champs. Nah, not for me. You need to do a little bit more in this business before you just come out and call the champs out. Prove your worth even being mentioned in the same breath as us. Prove you're even worthy of me putting my goddamn jockstrap in my cup in a fucking garbage bag and letting you carry it to my limo. Maybe I'll consider you for a title match. But guess what? You're still just carrying my dirty jock in a black plastic bag to my limo. Get over yourself. I didn't get the goddamn thing to begin with. How the hell are you going to have that much balls to talk about the champs when you just lost to a former world champ earlier in the night? You had an opportunity against a former WWH World Heavyweight Champion. And oh, by the way, do you know why I know he's a former World Heavyweight Champion? Because I lost a fucking title to him. That's how I know. And
This
you
is
had
true.
that shot and you fucking dropped the ball. But then you're going to come out and steal the show at the end of the night after an awesome tag team match and blow smoke up your own ass? Fucking bring it, son. Bring it.
And I mean, and not to add a little fuel to it, but he even had help from Ashley Renee to kind of beat him and didn't come up with that too.
Yeah,
So
exactly. That's my point. You can sit
so
there and cut a promo and go out in the ring and make a segment on Showdown. All he wants about the guys that got bullseyes on their back. Here's the real deal, son. Because you even open up your mouth, you got no idea the bullseye on your back. And once Lev and I are done with T.O., we'll mop the fucking floor with you. End
yeah.
of story.
Now let's talk about the Showdown card. It's another good card. It's let's just go over it real quick. Match number one, it's a make or break match. We had this on
Well, I think it's a
Demolition.
good card. We'll say it's a good card. We're not going to say great because the greatest of all time isn't on there, so you can't say great. But it is.
Okay, fine. Okay, I get it. You're not on. Yeah, okay. All right,
Come on,
Matt.
got to self promote here a little bit, you son of a bitch. Come on, give me a little bit of credit.
You've been doing that most of the podcast.
Well, that's what. Hey, it's just me and you. It's a clusterfuck. Let's
I know,
go.
I know, but okay. It's a make or break match between Aphrodite and Travis Levette. What we mean by make or break is this is their last shot to show why they belong in WWH. Basically, it's a go big or go home. As JV would kind of say it in
Yeah.
his terms. Match two: Marius versus Lance Adams. This should be not. This should be a good match too. This is Marius' second match, and
This one last week. So, I mean, you got to give him hope for that. Is this Lance's first week on the card?
no, this is Lance Adams. He's been on the card for a while, uh, but since
Lance, I'm sorry, bro. I don't. You must be flying under the radar, bro.
yeah, he remember he came out last week with Jacob Cass, so this is kind of
Oh, there you go, Jacob Cass. Yeah, I ignored
yeah
that. Got to get over that.
yeah
Jacob Cass. Okay, there we go.
yeah it's Jacob Cass and Lance Adams. I guess they're a team for now, but yeah, this is their different thing. Match three. Levinator with you in his corner against Tio with Jake Orton in his corner. This should be a very big match because Levinator has been wanting to get his hands on Tio. I mean, last
This
week
is how
kind
it
of.
all started. Yeah.
Last week he kind of proved it. He was beating up Tio, and now this is the match to show it. So who knows what's going to happen? I mean, I know you're going to be there, JV, obviously, but even you are you a little skeptical what could happen? I mean, I think we both can agree that chaos is going to ensue.
Yeah, chaos is going to ensue. But I mean, like I said, Jake Orton, you're a good guy. You get the job done. You're a hell of a wrestler, and you got chops. But if you think for one goddamn minute I'm gonna quake in my boots over a motherfucker like Tio Jacoba or Tio Yakoba or however the hell you pronounce his fucking name, you're out of your goddamn mind. This guy's a piss stain and it needs to be wiped off the face of the earth. It starts tonight, well, not tonight, but it starts at Showdown, and then it will end at Road to WrestleMania. There's a reason Lev and I demanded the rematch, and we didn't let them get a shot to ask for it. We demanded it because we want them out of our life. We want out of this inner circle, General Hospital, days of our lives, all of our children, Maury Povich, Jerry Springer bullshit. Fuck all this. Y'all go have your family feuds, and the champs are going to go on to fight proper world title contenders.
Match 4, it is, I guess, the leader of the Bullet Club now, I guess you could say, Demi May versus Equinox. This is gonna be a big challenge for Equinox, I would say. We saw Demi May last week, but she wasn't in action. We haven't seen Demi May ever since the Royal Rumble. So this, I believe that she has a few intentions, let's just say. So,
Demi's got a lot to prove, but we know, and what I won't say we because I'm not going to justify this for everybody, but at least I know that when Demi says she's going to show up, she shows up and she brings her best. But the point is, for Equinox, especially after his diatribes about bitching about losing, well, it's your fault, sweetie. There's nobody else to blame. This is key for him because this is his shot. If he beats her, well, now he's beaten a former world champion. He's almost semi-proved himself again. Am I saying he's worthy of a title shot afterwards? No, I'm not saying that. But it reestablishes him in the picture of being a major player.
Exactly.
He does this. So this is way bigger for Equinox. Let's put it this way. If Equinox beats Demi May, is that not a bigger deal than if Demi beats Equinox? I mean, we all kind of expect Demi to beat Equinox. But if Equinox beats Demi May, we're talking about that shit next week on the podcast, probably right off the bat. Like, holy shit, did you see that happen?
Yeah, this is true. It's definitely true. Match 5, we talked about.
I'm interested in this one. This is the one I'm interested in. This one and the main event are the two that I was like, oh shit, this is where it's at right here.
Yeah, and we did talk about CM Punk last week that, hey, he wasn't on the card, but he showed up anyway. And not only that, he's been on a mini undefeated streak too. So this is kind of like even if he let's just theorize, if he loses, he's still a threat because he's gonna give Ashley Renee a run for her money. And this match is Ashley Renee versus CM Punk, non-title match, but I think this is going to be one of the matches of the night for Showdown this week.
Oh, this arguably, and this is no disrespect to the main event that's coming up, but I'm gonna have a shot of whiskey for this match because I'm calling this my match of the night. And once I have this shot of whiskey, I'll explain. But here we go. First off, kick back some Jim Beam.
There it is.
Now,
there's the
why. Exactly. The reason why I think this is match of the night is because one, I know Ashley Renee is going to bring him because she always does.
All right.
But title's not on the line. And being a champ like I am, and like I've always been, when the title's on the line, it feels a little bit different. And you feel like you got to go a little bit harder. I'm not saying Ashley's not going to give her best, but the title's not on the line. So she's not going to have that extra. Now, CM Punk is in line to be one of the guys going forward for the international title, but the title's not on the line. So who has more to gain in this match? Right back to the Demi May Equinox thing. CM Punk has more to gain by beating Ashley here than Ashley has to gain by beating CM Punk. If Ashley loses, she's still your international champion. And she can still come out and go, what? Still got the belt. Fuck you. That's it. But if CM Punk wins, well, now he's got a right to say, I beat you. Now put the fucking title on the line and let me do it one more time. Whether he does it ever again or not doesn't matter, but it's the point. So this has the makings of a really good match because one, like I said, she's a champ. She's going to bring an A effort. But if CM Punk brings an A+ effort, we're in for one hell of a goddamn show.
Now let's just throw a what if scenario here, if you don't mind. Let's say CM Punk beats Ashley Renee. Do you think that Riley's gonna say, you know what? Since you beat the international champion, you're in the international title match at WrestleMania with Ryan Payne and Ashley Renee?
Why not?
I mean, what do you think of that? Like, do you think that could happen?
If he beats the champ, fair and square. Now, mind you, if we get to Showdown and it's Ashley Renee and CM Punk and Ashley's just beating his ass. And Ryan Payne comes running down and drops the hollow point, deathly, Meadows, whatever the hell it is, you know, and then CM Punk covers. Then no, okay, it was a screw job. It was just a mishmash. Then no, not necessarily. But if it's a clean cut, straightforward, CM Punk pins her shoulders, CM Punk makes her tap out, then goddamn right, CM Punk has every right to be in that match at Road to WrestleMania. Every single right.
Now, you did bring up Ryan Payne. We gotta. He's gonna be a wild card in this because after last week,
Well, because he's not on the card, right?
he's not on the card, but that doesn't mean that
And
he can
he's
still
so
show.
floating around somewhere.
Yeah, I mean that
Now, I
doesn't
mean,
mean
I'm not on the card, but I'm still there. I'm hanging out with Lev. We're gonna do this fucking shit. Match number 3. Gonna go hang out with Tio Jacoba and Jake Orton. Share, oil of Olay and eyeliners, tips and fat and all that shit. So I mean, I'm gonna be there, and I got no reason to be.
yeah. But like I said, Ryan Payne's gonna be the wild card because even though he's not on the card, he's still gonna be floating around. Hell, he might even pull a commentary, quote unquote. I mean, we don't know what he's gonna do,
If
but
anything,
well,
I'd put him at commentary just because he's at ringside. You can watch him. Say,
that
hey, yeah,
that's
put him
true.
at ringside. Make sure you can watch him so he doesn't interfere. But then again, you put Ashley at ringside the last week, and what you do? She cold cocked a motherfucker with the title. So I mean, it's apples and oranges. Point being, if CM Punk can beat Ashley fair and square in that ring, he deserves a shot at Road to WrestleMania in that match. He does.
That's true.
He's
Well,
gonna have beat the
and
champion fair and square. How do you not put him in that?
right. Well, also let's throw this into play too. Uh, this match is not. This match is a regular match. It's not a no DQ or anything like that. Last week was a street fight, so what Ashley did made a lot of sense. She can get in there and interfere, whatever. This week, if Ryan Payne interferes at all and attacks Ashley, CM Punk gets screwed out. Like he
Oh yeah,
loses. Like
exactly.
and and that'll piss CM Punk off and go after Payne possibly, or even both. Be like, hey,
I mean, after all said and done, honestly, this is kind of one of Ashley's first matches since being international champion, right?
I believe so.
Yes. I mean, honestly, my vote would be Ashley's going to dominate. She's got a lot to prove.
Yeah,
That's why I said this match proves a lot of interesting dynamics. CM Punk is the supposed next guy. Like it's Ashley and Ryan, maybe Nick Sanderson. Equinox is always going to throw his name in there. Blah 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 blah. But CM Punk is really making headway. But then there's Ashley, just won her title. She's got a lot to prove. She got that vicious promo last week. So both of these guys have something to prove. You asked me to put, $2,000 on it right now. Of course, I'm gonna put my money on my girl Ashley. She's gonna go do it. She's gonna do it. But if CM Punk does manage to get it, give the kid his due. Give him his shot at Road to WrestleMania. He deserved it.
yep.
Period.
And let's talk about the main event. Chris Matthews is special referee, and it's Nick Sanderson versus Damage. Do you
Well,
think
there's a
that?
reason why Ashley versus CM Punk is my favorite match of the night, and this is why. Exactly why. Because it's Nick Sanderson versus Damage, but Chris Matthews is involved. How do you go into the Road to WrestleMania where these two are going to have an Iron Man match, and this guy's the special referee? Duh. Who's he going to favor? Who's he going to favor? So my man Damage, who I've spoken glowingly of, and my man Nick Sanderson, who I spoke glowingly of, these two have an epic opportunity to prove both of themselves. Whoever wins, there's no loser. There is no
Well,
loser.
well,
Here's the
obvious.
problem. Matthews is involved. So it's going to be a clusterfuck. So I have a feeling Matthews is going to make his angle more important than the match at hand. And here's why I disagree with that. Because Sanderson and Damage are very much worthy of being a main event on Showdown. I just wish Matthews wasn't there.
Right. And do you think with last week since the loss, do you think he's going to help Damage beat Sanderson?
I don't hope for it. I don't know. There's a weird dichotomy. Like I said, that's my biggest problem is that I'd rather just see Nick Sanderson versus Damage
Or are you just
and, and Matthews from ringside because there's a
or
match coming up. So you're talking about he was a tag partner with the guy the week before. He's taking on the other guy in 2 weeks or a week or whatever. It's too convoluted, and I don't like it. It already screams something screwed up is going to happen, And the reality is the match itself just reeks of this could be fucking special. And it feels like Matthews being in there takes away from what could be special.
Now, here's the interesting thing. Do you think
The
that
thing is, he's special referee.
well, here's the thing. Do you think that Sanderson is gonna probably uh just like seen this in other special referee matches before where they just destroy the referee and he's out and then he just uses his hand to pin him to make the pin.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't even go that far. If I was Sanderson, I'd kick the shit out of Damage. I'd put him through like 3 tables, and then I'd take Matthews and I'd put him through 6, and then I'd grab Damage, bring him back in the ring, and hopefully some backup ref comes out and taps the 3. But Sanderson is going to have to take out Matthews to win this match. Sanderson will need a backup ref. That's it. I mean, this guy's got his back against the wall. And, I've been a big contributor to Sanderson from the get go. He's going to need to be on A plus 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 and be hungry and have his heart in it and have a stroke of luck. I mean, all the fucking cards are against Sanderson in this match, and I don't like it because Sanderson and Damage deserve their due on their own, and it kind of feels like Matthews just like, hey, look at me. I'm the special rep. I'm going to Road to WrestleMania. It's like, no, back out, sunshine.
Yeah.
Back out and let these guys shine.
Now, okay, now scheduled to appear is the world champion Randy Fields. Jay
Good.
Orton.
He's the champ. Where the fuck's he been?
I know.
He's out in Honolulu. Hope you got those numbers of those gymnasts I know. Hope they're treating you right, bro. Hope they're treating you right.
All right.
I got all over the world. You know that.
All right. Jay Orton, Naomi Martin, Johnny V, of course. Jacob Cass, Ryan Payne, Xavier, Soraya Waters, Luvia Luna, and Lisa Brooks. Those are all scheduled to appear. Now, let's talk about Road to WrestleMania. It's taking place live in Denver, Colorado. We barely added the location to it, so it's taking place at the Pepsi Center. So if you like
Colorado Potts Hill up there, god damn, you're gonna have me all kinds of fucked up, ain't you, boss, bro?
Well, hey, I mean, Denver Broncos won the Super Bowl, did they not? So
I'm hanging with Peyton smoking and blunts of the highest cheap. Don't worry about it, bro. We're gonna get it going.
Yeah.
Go Broncos.
Let's talk about the first match. It's a Bombshells Championship. It's a ladder match, and it's a 5 bombshell ladder match. It is Morgan McGinn, who's the champion, against Bailey versus Lacey Vicious and 2 other people, whether it be Jesse Jones and Annalise Vance or Duchess and Latoya Hicks, I believe. So
it's gonna be Hicks. It's gonna be Jesse Jones. That's just my pick. But either way, Morgan McGinn better bring it because Bailey, Lacey Vicious, Jesse Jones, Latoya Hicks, Annalise Vance. Either way, is Morgan McGinn walking out of this match with the title? I don't think so. I don't. Yeah. I think one of these other girls or women. I think they step up. I really do. I think they all put Morgan in her place and there's going to be a new champ after Road to WrestleMania. I really believe. If a title were to chance, it's that Bombshell Championship because there's a lot of hungry women out there and they're tired of it. This is going to be good. It's going to be good.
All right, match 2, Finn Balor versus Damage.
I'm going with Damage on this, man. Bro, seriously, Damage has been on a roll. I know Finn Balor, this is one of those matches where you could, I almost hesitate to say Damage because I've been a proponent of his and I backed him for so long. But, the proof is in the pudding. Results are in the pie. It's right there for you to see. So it's one of those, if Finn Balor really wants to make a name for himself, this is the match to win. Heart, hungry, the whole 9 yards. But Damage has been on a roll, so I would go Damage all the way on this one.
All right. Match number 3 is the hardcore title. It's a street fight match. It's a triple threat street fight match, actually. Caleb Foster versus Annalise Vance versus Johnny V's favorite wrestler in the world, John Blade.
I'm putting $2.4 million on John Blade. I am putting some serious cash for you to win this goddamn thing. John Blade, please, motherfucker, win the goddamn hardcore championship in this street fight. Please. Please.
From what I've been hearing from the GMs, is that John Blade keeps, yapping. He even though he lost to Caleb Foster, I believe last week or the week before, he still wouldn't shut up saying like I demand a title shot. Yada 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 yada. So Caleb said, you know what? Fine. If he wants another shot at me, I'll put the title on the line. I'll face him. But then last week, Annalise got involved, and it seems that Annalise wants Caleb as well. So that's how it happened. Match four that hasn't been.
It's gonna be cool. That match is gonna be awesome. I mean, Annalise has proven her worth. She deserves a shot. I know I was shitting on it before, being involved in all those matches, whatever. I busted Caleb's balls the whole night, but Caleb, you're a deserving champ. There's a reason you're the champ. You hold that belt. You get it, bro. You've got it. And John Blade, bro, I fucking love you. I'm rooting for you. I am not kidding. I'm rooting for John Blade in this match. I want this guy to win it. Can you imagine John Blade as our hardcore champion? That would be so goddamn awesome.
That would
It
be
would be
hilarious.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I would be forevermore. Every single podcast I'm on, I will say this is the WWH podcast sponsored by your WWH hardcore champion, John Blade. John, please win this goddamn thing. I'm rooting for you, brother. So match 4, you got nothing going on, right?
Nothing going on match four. It'll be filled up soon. So
Oh, I know it will be filled up, but we
yeah,
got nothing in
we got
here.
nothing right now. Match five is the
Match 5, support of the night.
world tag team titles. Old school Levinator and JV versus Bullet Club Jake Orton and Tio Jacoba. This, you guys were the ones that said, you know what, we'll face them at Road to WrestleMania. You said it to both Jake Orton and to Demi, but Demi basically sent the message to Tio saying like, hey, they said we want to face you here, so it's happening.
And they can text, they can Facebook Messenger, they can Skype, they can Instagram, they can Snapchat, they can Tinder, they can fucking plenty of fish. I don't give a fuck what they do, but come Road to WrestleMania, they're going to walk out that ring with their tail between their legs. We're going to hold those titles and we're going to keep them. We proved it once and we'll do it again. Either way, this is going to be your match of the night. We're going to beat the shit out of them, and we are going to single-handedly make sure Tia Jacoba never steps foot in a WWH ring ever again. We are ridding the WWH universe of any form of guyliner. If you wear guyliner, you are going out of WWH. Just a word of advice. Just a word of ladies, wear all the mascara you want, get your nails done, go see the Koreans, get your fucking manicures, your pedicures. I don't give a fuck. But if you're a grown ass man in this goddamn company and you rocking some makeup and some glitter, we're gonna beat the holy fuck out of you. End of story.
And finally, the big match is the main event. It's an Iron Man match between Nick Sanderson and Chris Matthews.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's the big match. It's the main event. So I'm not saying I'm not impressed with it, but I'm not impressed with Chris Matthews. And I know he's going to hear this and get kind of hurt on it. But listen, bro, there's a reason I'm saying this. Where is it? What's the running theme? Hungry, heart. Where is it? This is his chance. Here's the end result. There's only two outcomes of what goes on here. Sanderson wins and goes to WrestleMania to take on Randy Fields, and that's my number one pick for what's going to happen. Period.
Yeah.
If I put 2.4 million on John Blade, I'll put 2.9 million on Nick Sanderson. That's how confident I am. But my worry with that is what happens to Chris Matthews.
That's true.
I came back to WWH when he was champ. So I am an expert at seeing how far this has fallen. It's now
true.
or never.
Well, here's the thing. Here's an interesting thing. Since you said that Damage and him were a good team, do you think at Mania, if you guys retain, that you have no tag team opponents, that he and Damage will go after you guys?
Oh, I'd take that in a heartbeat. If he loses to Sanderson at the road to WrestleMania, and he's got no way of figuring out what the fuck is going on in his life, and he still wants a shot, you tell him to call up Old School. And I don't care if somehow the Bullet Club beats us. I don't give a fuck. I'll take on Damage and Chris Matthews. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I mean, number one, Bullet Club ain't got a chance against us. Let's face facts. But either way, yeah, obviously, I would definitely. I mean, and the sad thing is at this point in my life and in the WWH universe, I'm more interested in taking on Damage. No offense, Chris Matthews, because I don't see it. Again, heart hungry. I don't see it. I hear a lot of talk. I see a lot of smoke. I see a lot of bells. I see a lot of whistles, but I don't see heart and I don't see hungry. And if you don't see those, you don't feel them. And if you don't feel it, you don't buy into it. And if you don't buy into it, you don't buy those t shirts and you don't put an ass every 18 inches. And this was a guy that was world champ when I came back into this company. And having
That's
been
true.
a 4-time world champ of this company, you better believe, Matthews, I had my eye on you from the minute I stepped back. And what I've seen is a regression, not a progression. And all the guys that I talk about, the Nick Sandersons, the Bradys, the Randy Fields, the Demi Mays, the Ashley Renees, anybody that I've spoken glowing praise of, you've heard progression, not regression. Matthews, Equinox, you guys in particular, it's regression. And I'm upset about it. Not pissed, not angry, not looking to kick your ass, not looking to get into a feud, none of that horse shit. It's just a brother looking out for another brother because we're all batshit crazy professional wrestlers. Get your shit together because you're capable of doing it. Figure it out. Because
Yeah,
by all means, I hope Chris Matthews beats Nick Sanderson. I do. I really do. I mean, this is old school. I love Chris Matthews. I love the character, the development, the whole 9 yards. This will be a glorious story going into WrestleMania. Matthews finally gets his rematch against Fields from all those months ago. That'd be a huge storyline. So would Sanderson, being the up and coming superstar, earned his way. Finally, first WrestleMania, he's in the main event. That'd be a huge story, too. There's so many ways WrestleMania can unfold in this match, and it's great for the business either way it plays out.
this
But
is
the
true.
reality, Sanderson's got it until Matthews proves otherwise.
Let me ask you
But here's
this. Let me
shot of
let me ask you this though, JV. Do you think ever since the return of Pandora Barrett, his mind's just again cluttered or faltered?
man. I thought 3, 4 weeks ago I closed that box forever. And now, mind you, I'm moving out of a house in the Northamptons. Don't know if you all know where that is. It's Cape Cod area. It's really lavish. I got like 3.5 acres, like 6-floor mansion. It's no big deal. But I'm moving out. If I had known that Pandora was available to work, I wouldn't have had to hire U-Haul or all those cardboard boxes. I've just brought her over. I could have fit the sofa, the TV, the love seat, the whole goddamn thing. Put 3 Lexus, SUVs in there. We would have been good to go. Slap her on the ass, get her on the door. But now that she's back, Matthews, where are you, bro? What the fuck is going on? Get off the box. I banished the box single handedly. I started it and I ended it, and here we are. And now the guy's on the precipice of having an opportunity to go to WrestleMania. I fucking hope he takes it seriously. I mean, either way, I'm going to WrestleMania as a champ. What do I got to gain or lose from this? Nothing. So I'm only giving these guys this advice. And I don't have to give it to Sanderson. That's the sad thing. Sanderson and I, we cross paths in the locker room. We shake hands. He gives me kudos for blowing smoke up his ass. I give him kudos for being the guy that he is. He gives me kudos for being what I am. Blah, 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 blah. I've told Matthews how good he is, how bad he is, the whole 9 yards. It's up to him. All pressure comes in this match. It is on Matthews. We just had a rumble for one of your dearest friends. And I paid respect to him. Everybody paid respect to him, but you didn't win it. Now you're at Road to WrestleMania. You got a shot for the world title opportunity at WrestleMania. How many chances do you get?
That's
Is what
true.
I'm asking.
That
How
is definitely
many do
true.
you really fucking get before, hey, curtain jerker? Sorry, bro. That's where it's going. Curtain jerker.
All right. Well, and on that note, let's just call it a night right now. We've been
And it caused that controversy. The show ends on Johnny V calling Chris Matthews. Chris Matthews, you're not a curtain jerker, but this is your shot, bro. Really fucking pick it up. I have faith in you. I've seen what you can do. You can fucking do this. On the same token, Sanderson's no fucking joke, and best of luck to both of you. Either way, this week's Demolition, high and tight card. This week's Showdown, high and tight card, even though I'm not wrestling on it. And then obviously, Road to WrestleMania, I am wrestling on it. That will be the match of the night, and it's going to be a great fucking showing. This company is in the best position it's been in 6 months, and it's because of all of you guys in the fucking locker room. Wake up and smell your own shit because it kind of does smell like roses. Realize it. Realize it.
And I
We're
will say,
doing
and I and I
always.
I will say this, and Johnny V, I'm sure he hasn't noticed it yet, but in the Royal Rumble paychecks, everybody got a raise. So everyone that took part in the pay per view, whether it be segments or even in the matches, everybody got a raise. Like at least from what I've seen, I had to double check real quick. Everyone got a $3 million raise. So
Damn, and they deserve.
yeah,
They
so
deserve it.
everybody's
Well,
now
actually, I probably deserved about $3.5 million. But hey, we won't go into that. Doesn't
don't
matter because
get
I'm still running checks
don't
for movies. I still got businesses all across the world, and God knows I got so many Lithuanian gymnasts waiting to get my phone call. It don't matter. I'm all good, boss, bro. I know the check's clear. That's why I'm here.
well. What do you mean the check's clear? They've always been clear. Like I don't even.
Boys, why do you think I came back? God damn it! Come on now, give me a little bit of slack.
All right, fine, all right. But on that note, let's just call it a night. And I would like to thank Johnny V as always. He's now a regular here as usual. It was just gonna be we thought it was gonna be more people, but hey, what are you gonna do? Everybody's busy. And
Honestly, and I think this is going to be the biggest feedback from a lot of these guys. And I know there's going to be the people that are like, "Well, I was on the podcast. I was on the podcast." I think by it just being kind of like a Gorilla Monsoon, Bonavie Heenan type thing, we got to cover a lot of bases. How many? Just as a shout out, you go ahead and put it because I know Boss Bro is going to put this up on the website. We talked about a lot of guys, and I know there's been the running theme of all the podcasts. Like, oh, you just talk about this, you just talk about this. How many guys actually got mentioned tonight?
a
How many of
lot,
you actually kudos?
like a
And
lot.
honestly,
So
exactly. And when I look back, I go, there's only really 2 guys that got shit out. Well, 3: Jacob Cass, Equinox, and Chris Matthews. There you go. I called your names out. I bitched about you. That's about it. Everybody else, you got kudos. Or no, sorry, 4. Pandora. But that don't really count because it's a box. You just kick it and it goes away. It's all good. It's fine. It's a box. You kick it, you stuff it, you do the whole thing. Everybody gets what's going on with the box. Either way, you get what I'm saying. So if you were disappointed with this podcast, it's on you. It's not on us.
oh man, I'm gonna tell Lucky that she's gonna laugh. Oh well. All right. Now, like I said, I would like to thank Johnny V for coming on, as always. Make sure to follow, subscribe, add on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter at WWH Fed. Make sure to follow JV on Showdown because even though he's not wrestling, he's still gonna probably be answering questions, talking to fans, regardless. So if you're at the stadium or arena, whatever you want to call it, say what's up, give him a beer because that's one of the best ways to approach him. I've done that once, and here we are today. Um,
Exactly. Find E-Lev and Ric Flair at whatever local bar in whatever podunk town we're in. Go to the local hotspot bar. We'll be there kicking them back, and we'll buy you all motherfuckers drinks. Just come get it.
yeah,
Come get you some.
that reminds me. We should start promoting appearances as well, like actual appearances. Nick Sanderson's going to be in Denver. He's going to be on the radio promoting Showdown. Johnny V, he's gonna. I've just found out and got confirmation. You're gonna be at 2 sports bar and grills this weekend.
Yes.
You're gonna be promoting Showdown and Demolition. You're not gonna be alone. Your Stefan Raab is gonna be joining you as well. So that's
Oh boy,
gonna.
Stefan, let's bring it.
Um, Also, Asher Renee, she's gonna be promoting. There's like 4 radio stations, so we're sending Asher Renee to run on them as well. Um, as also trying to see who else. Ryan Payne, he's going to be doing another a radio station as well, and Randy Fields, he's going to be on TV. He's going to be on one of the local news stations there promoting Showdown as well. So
Well, I would hope he's been gone for so goddamn long. I was waiting for him to pop up in the View, start talking about Donald Trump or something. I'm like, Fields, come back! Where the fuck are you, man? We need our champ.
Yeah. So everybody's basically all the big names are all on full force promoting Showdown and Demolition this week. So make sure to hear them
Now,
out.
this show under Demolition, we all promote WWH. We're a brotherhood. We're a community. If you don't love it, then learn to live it because this is who we are. WWH is for life. We are just too sweet. Get on board or get the fuck out. It's that
Yeah.
simple.
And on that note, we will say goodnight and make sure to check out Showdown and also check out Demolition this coming Monday and Showdown after that. And then we will see you next Saturday. Hopefully, we'll get Demi May back because ever since Showdown, we haven't seen or heard from her since. So we'll see what's going on with her. But other than
I
that,
mean, Jake Orton, Randy Fields, Chris Kane. Let's bring them all back. Let's just get a whole clusterfuck. Where's Jason Crow? Jason Crow, where the fuck are you?
we'll deal with that on another day. But have a good night, everyone, and see you next week.